Outside, the wind howls through a frozen landscape where massive beasts roam, woolly mammoths with tusks like scythes, saber-toothed tigers lurking in the shadows. But you're not alone. Around you sit your kin, a tight-knit band of survivors, sharing stories etched in ochre on cave walls, crafting tools sharper than any modern blade, and planning hunts that demand strategy rivaling a chess grandmaster. This isn't the brutish, grunting existence of cartoon cavemen dragging women by the hair. No, this is the Paleolithic era, a time when our ancestors weren't just enduring the wild, they were mastering it with innovation, art, and unbreakable community bonds. What if I told you these primitive people thrived for over 2.5 million years, outlasting ice ages, adapting to scorching deserts and lush forests, and laying the foundation for everything we call civilization today? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the real story of human evolution's ancient secrets. A tale that will flip your worldview upside down and make you question if we're the advanced ones after all. From mammoth hunts that required genius engineering to cave paintings that whisper of lost spirituality, prepare to have your mind blown. And trust me, the lessons these cavemen teach could save our modern world from its own chaos. Let's rewind the clock and step into the Stone Age. You won't believe what you'll find. One of the biggest misconceptions in human history, the idea of cavemen as dumb, violent oafs living in perpetual misery. This stereotype, popularized by 19th century cartoons and Hollywood films, couldn't be further from the truth. Archaeological evidence paints a picture of sophisticated, adaptable humans who were far from primitive. The Paleolithic era, spanning from about 3.3 million years ago, with the earliest stone tools found in Kenya's Lomekwi site, to around 12,000 years ago, covers over 99% of human technological history. During this time, our ancestors from Homo. First off, the term caveman is a myth in itself. Paleolithic people didn't primarily live in caves. Those were often reserved for rituals, art, or temporary shelter during harsh weather. Most lived in open-air camps, building huts from wood, bones, and hides. Sites like Terra Amida in France, dating back 380,000 years, reveal structured shelters with hearths, central fire pits for cooking and warmth, showing purposeful community planning. These weren't random hovels. They were engineered for efficiency, with windbreaks and storage pits. Imagine a nomadic village, not a dank cave. Another myth. They were loners, fighting tooth and nail for every scrap. Wrong again. Archaeology shows small bands of 20 to 50 people, often extended families, cooperating for survival. These groups were egalitarian, no kings or bosses, with decisions made communally. Evidence from dental plaque and bones reveals diverse diets and medicinal plant use, indicating shared knowledge passed down generations. At sites like Gesher Banat Yuakav in Israel, 800,000-year-old hearths suggest planned gatherings around fires, where stories were told, tools sharpened, and bonds forged. This community spirit wasn't just nice, it was essential. Injured members were cared for, skeletons with healed fractures prove it, challenging the survival of the fittest narrative. In fact, Neanderthals, often portrayed as brutish, showed compassion, burying their dead with flowers and tools, as seen in Shanidar Cave in Iraq. And let's talk gender roles, because the man the hunter, woman the gatherer trope is oversimplified at best. While men often led big game hunts, women weren't sidelined. Bone analysis from sites like Willamaya Pachksa in Peru 9,000 years ago, late Paleolithic transition, shows women buried with hunting tools, and isotopic studies reveal similar diets, suggesting both genders hunted. Women gathered plants, but they also trapped small game, crafted tools, and even participated in communal. Climate was the ultimate shaper of life. The Pleistocene brought ice ages, with glaciers advancing and retreating, forcing migrations. In Europe during the last glacial maximum, around 20,000 years ago, people adapted to tundra by hunting reindeer and mammoths. In Africa, warmer savannas supported diverse foraging. Coastal groups fished, as evidenced by 164,000-year-old shellfish middens at Pinnacle Point, South Africa. These adaptations weren't luck, they were genius. Paleolithic humans tracked seasons, planned ahead, and innovated, from fire control to tool evolution, proving they were environmental stewards, not destroyers. What about intelligence? Myths portray them as dim-witted, but brain sizes were comparable to ours. Neanderthals had larger brains on average. They exhibited abstract thinking through art and symbols. The behavioral modernity debate once claimed Homo sapiens alone had culture around 40,000 years ago, but evidence like 100,000-year-old engraved ochre from Blombo's cave debunks that Neanderthals and earlier hominins had it too. In short, Paleolithic people were resilient innovators. They faced extinction-level challenges, megafauna hunts, volcanic winters, population bottlenecks, and emerged stronger. As we grapple with climate change today, their story isn't just history. It's a blueprint for sustainability. They used only what they needed, wasted nothing, and lived in harmony with nature for millions of years. How long will our advanced society last? Evenings were communal, around the fire, sharing meals, stories, and plans. Music emerged here. Bone flutes from 43,000 years ago at Divj Babe, Slovenia, suggest melodies filling the air. Art happened too, etching symbols or painting caves during downtime. This balance, work, rest, creativity, contrasts our stressed modern lives. Paleolithic people had more leisure time. Hunter-gatherers today spend 3 to 5 hours working daily, leaving room for social bonds. Regional variations added flavor. In coastal Africa, days involved shellfish harvesting and fishing with harpoons, 90,000 years old from Katanga, Congo. In European tundras, fur-clothed groups tracked mammoths, using bone needles for sewing, from 25,000 years ago. In Asia, Homo erectus at Zhoukoudian, China, 700,000 years ago, used fire in caves for protection. Life was adaptable, dictated by environment, forests for deer hunting, grasslands for bison chases. Children learned early, playing with mud balls, as at Avdivo, Russia, 20,000 years ago, or practicing napping. Elders shared wisdom, ensuring knowledge survival. Violence was rare, most deaths from accidents or illness, not war. This daily rhythm fostered resilience, a lesson for us. Prioritize community over constant hustle.